My name is Luke, and this is my story. My story starts off when I was a kid. I grew up in a church plant, and my dad was a pastor. I guess it didn't scar me too much because I felt like that's actually what God's plan for me was to be a pastor or be in ministry. And so I pursued that. I went to school, got a degree in pastoral ministry, and it wasn't too long after getting the degree that I got an opportunity to work at a church. And so during that time, I actually got married when I was in school, and I got married when I was 19. I kind of thought, well, I'll get married, I'll work at a church, and my life will be, amazing. That was actually the first thing from the truth and from reality. I found myself in a marriage that left me feeling lonely and hurt. I started pursuing counseling and to try to fix my marriage, and really found out that wasn't really much hope for it. And my marriage ended in divorce. I was looking for acceptance from my family and really creating problems with with my family, and people were fighting over the choices I was making, and really it was a place where I wasn't receiving any acceptance from them, but really just creating a lot of problems and anger in my family. So I was like, well, I'm in Kansas City. I can at least go to the church that I grew up in and find acceptance there from the people I had known all my life as a child. But the reality was, they actually thought I was a failure too. I remember feeling like I was wearing a scarlet letter every time I walked into the building. I felt like I had a big D on my chest that said divorced, or maybe just failure. So I felt rejected, and I started running from God. Did lots of things I wasn't proud of doing. I was done with the church. I was done with all that. But in that time of running, I found myself being asked to be in a wedding. And my best friend was getting married, and he called me up and was like, hey man, I want you to be a groomsman. So I go and be a part of this wedding, and I find myself standing there next to these other groomsmen, and the minister is speaking a message, and he's talking about marriage and how God intended marriage, and the joy and love that marriage can bring when it's the way it's supposed to be and it's the way God wanted it to be. And somewhere in that, even though I was angry and hurt, I felt like I could start to believe it again. I don't know whether it was God speaking to me or what exactly it was, but I know that I started to really trust God again. So I decided, when I got back from the wedding, I was going to be different. I was going to give God a chance and go back to how I was, or at least try. So when I look back at where I've been and the failure I've experienced in my life, it's pretty awesome to see how God's used that to change me and grow me as a person. I don't think I'd be here working at Mission today if I wouldn't have gone through what I went through. It helps me really lead from a different place, because I understand what it's like to experience those things that devastate you in life. So I think that really helps me be a much better leader and much better, have a much stronger faith in God.